Have you ever had a moment where you just hit a wall? I'm not talking about being tired after a long day. I mean the kind of exhaustion that settles deep in your bones. The kind where you've done everything right, you've fought the good fight, but you wake up the next morning and think, I can't do this anymore. If you have, you're in good company. Today, I want to tell you the story of Elijah. Most people know him as the superhero of the Bible, the guy calling down fire from the sky. But my favorite story about him isn't about his power. It's about his crash. And it's about how God meets us when we have absolutely nothing left to give. To understand why Elijah crashed, we have to look at where he came from. Just 24 hours earlier, Elijah was standing on top of Mount Carmel. It was the best day of his life. He had just faced down 450 false prophets, called down fire from heaven, and proved to an entire nation that God was real. He even outran a chariot in the rain. He was running on pure adrenaline and spiritual high. He was unstoppable. But then, the adrenaline wore off. Queen Jezebel, the woman who ran the kingdom, sent him a message. It wasn't a surrender. It was a death threat. She promised that by this time tomorrow, Elijah would be a dead man. And this is where the story gets so human. After facing an army, one threat from one person broke him. Elijah didn't stand and fight this time. He ran. He ran for his life, leaving his servant behind, heading deep into the wilderness. He went a full day's journey into the desert until his legs finally gave out. He finds a solitary broom tree, which is really just a large desert shrub, and he collapses in its shade. This is the moment. The hero is gone. The prophet is gone. Now it's just a tired, frightened man. He prays a prayer that is uncomfortable to read, but so honest. He says, I have had enough, Lord. Take my life. I am no better than my ancestors. He's saying, I tried. I failed. I'm done. He feels like a failure because he couldn't fix the whole world in one day. And then he shuts his eyes, hoping not to wake up. But watch what God does next. If this were a strict sermon, you might expect God to show up and lecture Elijah. But God doesn't do that. Instead, Elijah wakes up to a touch. An angel is standing there. And the angel doesn't have a sermon. The angel has a meal. There's a cake of bread baked over hot coals and a jar of water. The angel says simply, get up and eat. Elijah eats, drinks, and this is the best part. He goes right back to sleep. God let him sleep. When he woke up later, the angel came back a second time, touched him, and said, get up and eat, for the journey is too much for you. There is so much grace in that sentence. Strengthened by that food, Elijah travels 40 days to a cave on Mount Horeb. He's physically better, but his heart is still storming. He's still angry. He feels alone. God asks him, what are you doing here, Elijah? And Elijah lets it all out. He vents. I have been very zealous for you, but the people have rejected you. They killed the prophets, and I am the only one left. God tells him to go stand on the mountain, and then nature goes wild. First, a great wind tears the mountain apart, shattering rocks. It's terrifying. But the Bible says, the Lord was not in the wind. Then a violent earthquake shakes the ground, but the Lord was not in the earthquake. Then a raging fire sweeps through, but the Lord was not in the fire. Finally, after the fire, there was a sound. Some translations call it a gentle blowing. Others call it a still, small voice. It was a whisper. When Elijah heard that, he pulled his cloak over his face and went out to meet God. So, if you are watching this and you feel like you're sitting under that broom tree today, exhausted, burnt out, or feeling like you're the only one trying to do the right thing, remember this story. You don't always need a miracle. Sometimes you just need a meal, a nap, and a moment of silence to hear the whisper that says, "You are not done yet." Thanks for watching.